Only 15 to 20 databases are available. Yes, sir. Even NoSQL also we store the data as it is in SQL. But in NoSQL, there is no limitations. You can store any kind of data with any number of fields. Whatever the huge amount of data doesn't matter. You can store any terabytes of data also. It can support. Okay. And one more important thing is SQL databases are completely row oriented. Okay. As part of the cloud computing, we need to touch the extra these things also. 100% these are important. Okay. So instead of row oriented database, here we can use the column oriented, key value, document, and graph oriented. There are different kinds of databases are available. Graph databases. Okay. So we'll discuss what is the graph database, what is these things a little later, because of when we are touching the working about the big table or big query, we can discuss more about it. Here you can see the SQL databases will support joins and inner queries, but NoSQL databases will not support any inner queries and joins. Okay, and SQL databases are the completely normalized databases. I think you know normalization, right? First normal form, second normal form, BCNF. Maybe other non-database people may not be new for this, but at the time of education, you may heard about it, right? Normalization techniques. Okay, I think Arif and Prabhakar, you know about these things, right? You are from DB background, so you know some of the techniques regarding normalization, joins, and other things, right? Yeah. So Prabhakar, do you have any idea about NoSQL databases? Do you heard or did you work on any? Okay, yeah, fine, no problem. So, in future, 100% all database people are going to migrate from SQL to NoSQL. That is going to be happen in nearby future. Okay, so here database are here flexible data schema. Here fixed schema SQL. Once you create a table, it is fixed. Again, if you want to change, you need to change many things. You need to consider many things. But here in NoSQL area, you need not worry about the schema. At any point of time, easily you can modify the schema. Easily you can update the schema. Yes, sorry, 100%. Almost all NoSQL databases are open sources. Okay, I can show you some of the list of the NoSQL databases here. NoSQL.database.org. Here you can see there are 200 plus databases are available in the market as of now. Okay, so this is the URL. You also can go through some of the database names. Okay, here you can see currently there are 225 plus databases are available, NoSQL databases. Okay, so one of the Cassandra is one of the database, MongoDB is one of the database. Like that, we have different databases are there. See, Google's Big Table is the one of the database. Okay, so like that, Big Table, many databases are there. See, this is the Big Table, right? So, Big Table is one of the NoSQL database which is supporting to many other databases. So basically, the Big Table is derived from Google. Google is implemented Big Table. That is the reason here in our architecture or the GCP is mainly focusing on Big Table as a storage. We can store any kind of data here. Understood? What is NoSQL? What is SQL? So here the Google is providing one NoSQL database as well as SQL databases also. It is supporting both, and it is supporting for the complete flat files, and it is supporting for the cloud storage. All kind of storages it is accepting. Okay, we can create one big table instance, and we can create one cloud instance, cloud storage instance. We can store some sample data and we can retrieve that data. Okay, we will do all these examples. Next is big data. So the database people are who are coming from admin perspective, admin area. So you also need to learn the big data related concepts, because of in future everything is going to be capture the data, and every data is going to be processed in big data tools only. 100% big data is very important. While learning cloud itself, I'll explain completely big data related things with an example. If you spend some quality time on this, and if you show some interest, it will be very good for your career. It will be big ladder for your career. Along with computing engines, along with storage, we can concentrate on big table. Okay, these four pillars are concentrated by Google Cloud Platform. Okay, but here in our training, mostly we'll concentrate on computing, storage, and a big data area. Okay, and we will discuss some of the things which are common for every cloud, which is related to networking and security and other things also. But we'll focus mainly on these areas. The machine learning is one more area, but we will not discuss much about in depth about machine learning, because of it requires some of the programming languages required. Yeah, we can create all these things in Google Cloud Platform. I'll show you that one. We have a different things are there. Yeah, just we can open Google Console, GCP Console. Okay, I'll tell you how to register with this, and what are the techniques we need to follow when we are registering. After that, what we need to do, we will discuss one step by step with a document. Okay, so console.googlecloud.com. Okay, we can call it as a GCP, Google Cloud Platform. Okay, we'll call it as a GCP, Google Cloud Platform. So this is the console of GCP. So here you can see, just I'm showing only what are the things are available. Here, compute engine is the one category, is completely a separate category. We will discuss all these computing engines. After that, we will discuss the storage. What are the different storage? Big table, data storage, storage and SQL storage. Okay, then we will concentrate mainly on other things. Yeah, it is stuck now. Or else you can enter here. Let me refresh the window. And Arif and Prabhakar are able to follow. Just I'm giving the overview of all the required tools and required concepts which we are going to use in GCP. And Ramkoti are able to get right. Here storage. After that, we have a separate category for big data. Okay, in big data, yeah, we will discuss what is BigQuery. BigQuery is again, it's a Hive kind of tool, where data warehouse kind of tool, and public and pub and sub. This will be useful for publishing and subscribing kind of tool here. So why pub and sub is required? Let me show you one slide here. Then you can understand the real scenario of current world scenario. So this is the current scenario which industry is following now. 100%. In any software you can take, doesn't matter. This is the real scenarios we are facing, the customer's requirement and client requirement. First of all, we are getting the data from the different sources. I have shown this one in the previous session, I guess. Okay, so 100% the cloud is going to deal with huge amount of data, and it is going to process complete end up whatever the data you are storing in the cloud, and after that you need to analyze the data for analytical purpose, for reporting purpose, then showcase to the client. Only these are the steps, right? Do you accept? Okay. Here, whatever the industry, whatever the technology, or whatever the tools you are using, the first step is data ingesting or data generating. Okay. Next step is store data. And the third step is process data. And fourth step is analytics or analyze data. While at the time of processing data also can do analytics or reports. Only these are the four steps. Correct? Only these are the four steps which industry is doing as of now in the current. Even if you write a Java program, you need to take the data from a database. You can take the data from any database. Here data can be anything. The data can be a DB or a SQL database, or it can be a NoSQL database which we discussed just now. It can be a files or whatever. Files in the sense any file. It can be a CSV file, text file, or a video file, audio file, signal file, whatever it may be. All these are considered data. Okay. Next up, store the data. Where we are going to store? It can be again we can store in a SQL. This is a source data. Here is a source data. It can be a source data, can be anything, and again we are going to store in different formats in different area. Suppose if you are choosing AWS, we may store the data in S3. Okay, here we can store the data in buckets, or else we can store the data in again NoSQL, or you can store the data in any other format. After that, processing the data. Okay, in processing the data, based on the data source data, we need to process how you want to create the data. Yeah, I think Srikant Rao is joined, right? Just now, hi Srikant Rao. Yeah, just we have started around 15-20 minutes back. I was explaining about the what is the GCP. Just we have discussed, and what are the different concepts. So we are going to discuss. We are going to include as part of GCP. Just we are discussing. So here these are the 4 points are very important. So here you can see you can take the source data can be coming from any different areas. So first, before storing into the any SQL data, NoSQL data files, first we need to retrieve the data. How can we retrieve the data? How can you retrieve the data? The data can be coming from 3 different categories. One is the mobile data, mobile apps, whatever the data is generating for mobile, that is the one category, and another category is web data, completely web data. Web data in the sense of whatever the data is generating from web applications, the data is considered, we need to store into the storage area. And the third one is, which is very important in the current industry and the future industry, is IoT, Internet of Things. This is the data is generating from a sensors, any kind of sensor. It can be a mobile, it can be a any smart devices are there. All the smart devices are generating the data in the form of sensor data. So again, we need to consider these 3 data and we need to store it to the cloud area. So here the first step is how to read the data from the sources. Suppose this is a normal SQL database table. Okay, SQL DB table. So I can easily write JDBC program to read the data. Or else we have a n number of tools are available, ETL tools. By using ETL tools, we can read the data and we can store into the somewhere else. But here we have a data from different sources like IoT, web, and mobile. Then the existing tools may not be support because of this data is generating many records in per seconds, many outputs from every second. Like sensor data is generating thousands of messages in a second, and even mobile applications also generating hundreds of thousands or millions of messages in a second. At that point of time, yeah, okay, Hari. So these endpoint clients are generating huge amount of data, thousands of messages or millions of messages in a second, right? So at that point of time, we cannot use the existing Java applications or .NET applications to read the data. Okay, to read a messages like a messages. I think we have a tools called JMS. We have a tools called TIPCO, the Rabbit MQ messages. These are the different messaging systems are available in the market. So before big data or before cloud computing. So these messaging tools are good but not perfectly fit for the huge amount of messages or many messages in a second. Like if there are millions of messages are generating in a second, these tools cannot handle. So that is the reason we have a tool called Apache Kafka, which can handle 20 to 30 lakhs messages per second. Okay, so, or else we can use the other tools like PubSub is a one more tool which is developed by Google. Okay, so here we are going to learn how can we use the PubSub mechanism. We are not going to write any code here. Just we need to use that mechanism, how to read the data from a sensor, how to read the data from a web application, web logs, or any data which is coming from streaming data. Okay, streaming data. I hope you guys know about streaming data, right? Again, data is generating in three different types. One is the batch data. Data can be processed in three types: batch data, okay, near real-time data, and real-time data. These are the three different data processing techniques. Whether you use a cloud or on-premises software you are using, it doesn't matter. So, but here the batch data is a old one. That means the ETL systems are processing the data, process data hourly basis or daily basis. Okay, daily basis. So this is comes under batch data processing. Okay, so here the near real-time data would be something different, which data read and the store and immediately process the data. Okay, it is not going to wait for 1 hour, 2 hour or daily basis. It's immediately will process, but it's not going to process on the fly. Store in the sense it will store the data in RAM. But here in the first case, data is storing into the disk, store in disk, then process. This is batch data. This is called batch data processing. Near real time is this is the real time. Currently, most of the companies are using near real time data, but we have a one more technique called complete real time data. Real time data, whatever the data is generating, okay, data read and process, then store. This is comes under real time data. Okay, so for example, here you can see, suppose you are using your credit card in somewhere. Every day or regularly you are using maybe 1,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees maximum you are using. But now, on sudden you are going to use 70,000 rupees you are swiping. At that time, I think most of the people maybe face this situation. The customer care people immediately will call you, right? Automatically the call will be coming to you and they will ask you, are you doing this process, are really are you doing this transaction or not? Is it right? Most of them will get the call, right? Call message, right? For the confirmation. So this is means on real time process. When you are swiping the card on the fly itself, they are going to process. They are going to process. That is comes under real time process. Nowadays, most of the things are going to use real time or near real time, not batch. Batch is old one. Okay. Once you are purchasing in near real time, when you are trying to purchase some product, okay, you have gone through the website, you are checking the product, you are adding to the cart, but you are not buying. You are closing the browser. Within the few minutes or within the next minute or a few minutes, you will get a message. So you are looking for this product. Do you want to buy? If you want to buy this product, this will be free. Or else, right now you have a promo code to buy this product to avail 20% discount, 30% discount. Right? Do you see these situations in the current industry? Right? Yeah. Yes. So this is going to happen in near real time and real time. Okay. So to process all these kind of things, we should have a very high-end machines, right? High-end machines are required, like a supercomputers are required to read the data immediately and to process the data, and again responding to the client or end users, which we need to require very high-end machines and supercomputers required. But do you heard about any supercomputer these days? No, right? Nobody is concentrating more on supercomputers because of these are very costly things, very costly. So that is the reason the most of the companies are going to approach cloud computing, especially in data area, big data area. The most of the companies are approaching cloud computing to store the data as well as to process the data. Okay, any doubts as of now? Understood, right? Why companies are going to cloud computing? I'll tell you different examples before why companies, bigger companies or smaller companies are going to approach cloud computing only instead of storing their data in their own premises. As of now, I discussed processing and customer point of view. We discussed, and we will discuss storage area as well as hardware area as well as costing area. Yeah, it's based on the usage, Hari. So it's completely flexible in the GCP. So how much space you are using, you need to pay for that one only. How much processing techniques you are using, only for that you need to pay. Yes, it's 100% less than hardware. 100% less than hardware. So another example we can discuss. If you want to create your own cluster, you need to create a 100 node cluster. Okay, very high-end machines we need to purchase. Only buying 100 nodes is not sufficient. We need to prepare a server room, right? We need to prepare a air condition with backup. Power backup is mandatory, right? We need to take care about, and we need to take care about admin required for 24/7 in 3 shifts. So we need to take care of admin. Again, we need to have a take care about the software installation, software licenses. We need to maintain, and we need to maintain about security. We need to maintain about networking. See how many things are required. Along with all these things, again, these are the basic things. Again, now if I am approaching Java, I need to purchase the Java related softwares like Eclipse. I need to have a Git for repository purpose. I need to purchase the Jira. I need to purchase many other things here for project specific. Okay, if it is big data, I need to get the Hadoop related stuff, Hadoop related cluster really required, and I need to have a softwares like Spark. I need to have a Spark cluster like other things, Cloudera, Hotworks, NoSQL things. I need to know if I'm going to use NoSQL. Again, I need to purchase and install and configuration of NoSQL stuff, right? Software things. All these things are required, right? So see how many people are required here for admin purpose. So to manage, managers are required again. System admins are required. And maintaining the Jira ticket, GitHub servers. All these things are lot of expenditure is required. It's completely expensive things, right? And if anything happen, again we need to take care about the again backup recovery related things, which is very important. Okay, recovery is very important. Yeah, yeah. Some of most of the things are admin things, and again, as a developer, also you need to worry about the, what kind of Java software is there, what Eclipse you are running, how to check in, check out with Jira and GitHub and the big data tools. And developer also need to focus on many things instead of focusing on real business logic. Okay, instead of facing all these things, simply we can create a GCP account. Okay, just you can get all whatever I have discussed all in just 2 hours. That's it. Within 2 hours you can get everything, all these things. But in a real scenario, for purchasing the machines will take minimum one week time to get, and creating the server room, backup conditions, so network, internet connection. I forgot internet is required. All these things will take lot of time, maybe month of time to start the project. But here in GCP, within a couple of days, you can start the project. You need not worry about the other things. You need not worry about the earthquakes and power backups and any emergency things in the cities and the countries. No worries. Everything will be taken care by cloud computing, GCP. Got it? Understood? Yeah, that is completely reliable. I'll tell you, I will explain the techniques as part of the how data is reliable. Yeah, we're going to focus, right? Yeah, I'll tell you how exactly that is reliable, what are the techniques they are using, everything we'll discuss. Okay. In the Srikantra, we are going to focus on mainly these areas, computing engines and the storage in a big data area. Okay, because of I'm going through give a concept and I'm going through explain the concept based on the job portals. What exactly companies are expecting. Okay, in my company also we have recruited 45 to 50 people who are working on GCP. We did not find any people who know GCP. Just we got to people and we are giving a training on GCP and we are working with them. Okay, so in 2018, 100% many jobs are there on GCP area for everyone, for even the developer, DB, and mostly we are going to concentrate on development side. Okay. Okay, tomorrow it's almost 9:30 because tomorrow I will explain how to log in, how to register with the GCP, and we can start with the first things what exactly the cloud computing GCP is providing with other clients, and what are the uh, performance techniques and what are the storage techniques are available in the GCP. Okay, as per the course content, we will discuss one by one very clearly. I will give you the documents and I will provide you the all practical things. And on top of that, I can give you some of the POCs you can do, which we have done for client. I'll explain those things and you can start doing POCs once we complete one concept like that. Okay. Okay. Any more doubts? Or else I'll stop at this position. So we'll connect in the tomorrow morning.